I am back. Morning, everybody. I know it's been a few days. You're probably wondering what happened. Life just got in the way, and I hadn't been on the computer, hadn't really been in the office, didn't have time to sit down and record a video. So a lot has happened in the last few days, not the least of which is we have a new president-elect. Thank you. It's just such a relief to have that announced. It's funny, when it was announced, I was home. I think it was a Saturday, and I had just put my son down for a nap. I hadn't slept all that great, so I was like, all right, I'm going to lay down, close my eyes, and take a nap while he sleeps. And then right after I get him down, and I just lay on the couch and I get all comfy, my wife texts me and says, they're calling it for Biden. So I immediately go on Facebook and I'm checking Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and the news, and everybody's losing their minds. And I proceed to, not actually take the nap that I wanted to. But I was excited and I was happy, but I didn't have much of an emotional response to it, other than just like, yes, okay, thank you. And now let's, begin the process of figuring out how to do the peaceful transfer of power. And then my son woke up, and I go into his room to get him out of the crib, and I look at him and I instantly burst into tears, just like that. And I think it was because I realized that, we collectively as a country made a decision that was much, much better off for him in the long run. I'm not going to lie and say that Biden was my first choice, that I think he's the best person to lead the country, or that I agree with every single thing that he does. But Van Jones had a very emotional response on CNN and said, character matters. And I think we see that with, excuse me, I'm having an allergy attack. It's true what I just said. It's a little Italian superstition for you, by the way. If somebody says something and somebody sneezes, whatever the person just said is true. So it's a fun little fact for you. Character matters. And, I try to live a good life. I try to look out for others. I try to do my best to care about people when I have the energy and the mental ability to actually try, to think beyond the immediate, what's in front of me. And I have another video about that. So that's why it was important for me that, my son have somebody as president that has moral character and is not clearly just out for themselves, not just interested in making money and power for the sake of power, but actually wants to make the world a better place. And we haven't had that for the last 4 years. I'll be perfectly honest. It's the end of an era, as I saw many times on social media. And the fact that the country was celebrating, like people were literally out in the streets, honking horns, singing songs, dancing, etc. Like that should say something to you. I know it certainly said something to outside observers, to Canada and Europe and the rest of the world. But that says something. That should say something to his supporters. If people are cheering that much that he lost, I'm hoping that it triggers some sort of cognitive dissonance, something inside their brains go, have I been supporting the wrong guy? It's like that, the British comedy skit. I forget what it is, but it's the one guy. They're Nazis, and the one guy turns to me, are we the baddies? Like this realization that something's wrong. Now, I do not presume that just because Biden won the election, that everything's going to go back to normal and he's going to heal the country. As I've indicated many times as well, Trump is not the cause of this. He's a symptom. He's a symptom of a deep, deep underlying infection in this country. And he was simply, he was the boil that the infection brought to the surface. Well, we've lanced the boil, but now we need to drain the pus, because we're not going to heal until the infection is cleared. And there's a lot of people, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, dare I even say, that voted for him because of what he said. I know that the overwhelming majority of his supporters are not overtly racist people. They're not the Klan. They're not the Proud Boys. They're not the Boogaloo Boys. But they are comfortable enough with racism that it wasn't a deal breaker for them. That they said, yeah, I know he says racist stuff, but look at my 401k. Yeah, I know he's throwing, I know he's separating immigrants from their children, but, you know, stock prices are doing great. That's the wrong set of priorities to me. I'm willing to pay more money if it's moral, if it's valid, if it helps people. And I understand that that's a statement of economic privilege, and I'm certainly cognizant of that. But then we need to work on addressing that so that we have an economy and we have a system in a country that is fair for everybody, so that you don't have to worry about, okay, well, I'm saving money even though it's screwing people over because I need to save money. Well, then let's work on that. You know, let's fix that underlying problem. And I know that's a global thought and pie in the sky thinking, etc., but it's worth shooting for. It's worth trying for. At least I hope so. So this is my video for the day. I will be back tomorrow, I promise. Back with more videos. Otherwise, hope you all have a good day and take care of one another. Seriously.